Ribadisela mafhungo a SABC ubva pano Johannesburg, Auckland Park 2 mafhungo mahulwane nga chino tshifhinga kea. Dudu zile zuma obopololwa khothe nga murahu kaidzwa kha milandu ine akhoweswa yone.
The MPC decided to reduce the policy rate by 25 basis points with effect from the 31st of January 2025.
Va Reserve Bank botsitsanyi nga pfuma.
Ene very khopela hore mmuso o tshise mashaledi a ngwana re.
Aba muta wa mulape hune mongwe wabo o robandwani DRC ba ri aba totanganedza butanzi marugana na ubiswa masalela.
It's also for me a big ambition to be. I was there as a player on the World Cup, but I really want to be there also and then stop my career.
Mugriso wafana bafana boyigo Bruce Bopiko swikisa afana bafana kachipuga chelifasi. Nda madekana ndi nerungamani mufandirani. Ribadisela mafhungo pano ka SABC 2. President wa kale Jacob Zuma bari milandini akhoweswa mwana wabo Dudu zile Zuma aina bubvo nduto chinya dzina. Zuma samuntla obviswa nga murahu kaidziwa nga khothe kha mulandu we abakhoweswa wa ututuwedza bathu kha vhugevhenga ha u fheṱa shango na dzikhakhathi dzo itaho fhethu ha nnyi na nnyi. Izwi zwitumana na zwiito zwa migwalabo ye ya ṱangana na dzikhakhathi ya ṅwaha wa 2021.
Nga murahu miṅwaha mina ya migwalabo ya dzikhakhathi ya vhadzulapo ya fulwana vho Dudu zile Zuma Sambudla vho vulelwa mulandu u kwamaho tsireledzo ya ndayotewa ya demokrasi kha zwiito zwa vhuterorisi. Vho Dudu zile vha khou pomokwa kha milandu ya u ṱuṱuwedza zwiito zwa dzikhakhathi nga tshifhinga itsho tsha migwalabo ya 2021 ye ya sia ho lovha vhathu vha paḓaho maḓana mararu fuṱhanu. Vho Dudu zile ndi muraḓo wa phalamennde fhasi ya ḽihoro ḽa MK Party. Vhatshutshisi vha muvhuso vha ri vho ṱuṱuwedza zwiito izwo zwa dzikhakhathi nga kha u ṅwala kha siaṱari ḽa Twitter kana X nga murahu ha u fariwa ha khotsi yavho. Nao vhatshutshisi vha songo hana fhungo ḽa beili kha mulandu uyu vha ri vha na mulandu wo khwaṱhaho khavho.
It is the first time that the NPA is charging a person based on a content posted on what we call X, which was previously known as Twitter, for a content that we consider to be amounting to incitement to commit terrorism. It's a unique case, complex in nature, in the sense that reliance on the investigation and evidence is based on social media posts.
Mumeli wa Zuma Sambudla bodali mpofu bari vha khou ḓo vulela muvhuso mulandu wa u tshinya dzina na tshirunzi.
Entire business of this case is rather bizarre, particularly in relation to the length of time that it has taken, as indicated in the statement, simply to inspect what 4 or 5 or whatever number of social media posts. Surely that's not an exercise that should take 4 hours, let alone 4 years.
Nda khothe vhatikedzi vha MK Party vha vho bva nga vhunzhi. Murangaphanḓa wa ḽihoro vho Jacob Zuma vho vhudza vhatikedzi uri hafha fhethu a huna mulandu. Mulandu uyu wo ḓiswa khothe u songo dzudzanyea nahone ku shumiswa mulayo u tovhola na u kandeledza.
Umuntu oyintombazane ubhala kwi-Twitter uthi.
He says a woman wrote on her Twitter account that we see you. She has been charged today. I was listening attentively in court, trying to hear what my daughter did. I thought there was something serious, but it turns out there is nothing.
Mulandu wa Zuma Sambudla wo fhiriselwa khothe khulwane ya Durban hune vha khou lavhelelwa u ḓivhonadza hafhu nga ḽa 2 ḽa ṅwedzi wa Ṱhafamuhwe.
Musi shango la United States lo ḓivhadza u imisa mbekanyamushumo yaḽo ya u thusa maṅwe mashango dziṅwe kiliniki na senthara dza dzilafho kha ḽino dzo dzo imisa maṅwe a dzilafho nga nṱhani ha ṱhahelelo ya masheleni. Vha tshiimiswa tsha mutakalo tsha zwa mutakalo wa mbebo na HIV tsha VETS vho imisa mbekanyamushumo yaḽo ine ya lambedzwa nga USAID i Robege zwe zwa sia avho vhane vha ṱoḓa dzilafho bo hanganea.
Where are we going to be affected? PEPFAR has got a presence and is helping us in 27 districts out of the 52 districts of South Africa. These are the 27 most affected districts in the country. And so the district that will be affected will be 5 in the Eastern Cape, 2 in the Free State, 4 in Gauteng, 7 in KwaZulu-Natal. You'll understand why, because KwaZulu-Natal is the most affected province. 2 in Limpopo, 3 in Mpumalanga, 3 in Northwest, and the Cape Metro in the Western Cape.
Private care is extremely expensive. I remember seeing my one endocrinologist I inquired at quoted me their first consultation was 1,500 Rand, and thereafter your consults are 800 Rand, plus minus going forward. So I mean, to pay that every 3 months is absolutely crazy, because unfortunately medical aids don't cover hormone replacement therapy. So how this is going to affect the community is honestly terribly, because now there's going to be so many people who aren't going to be able to get access to their prescriptions. They won't be able to get that purely because private care in itself is so expensive.
My biggest concern was the fact that if we get to a point where we maybe run out of ARVs, and we know already in some places we had treatment stock outs, this is going to mean that our people taking treatment will no longer be virally suppressed with HIV, and that then means that we are going to see a rise of more HIV new infections. And if it really gets uncontrollable, we will find ourselves in a situation where we were 20 years ago.
Tsengwe muratu na mkomana ye bana barovanga mrao haurotherwa mshashani wo nanga muliro poni aitrelling senior lodium wala Pretoria ngwabo perawo yo priserwa panda bolindiwe na bozanele machika uphalori boya dikitani ushikara lichicha.
Basically, the two Machaka sisters appeared. The matter was initially set down for plea, judgment, and possible sentencing. However, that did not happen because the defense asked for a postponement in order for the probation officer to amend the probation report, because in the probation report it was not clear as into what will happen to the children if they are sentenced to imprisonment. So the matter is postponed for that to the 10th of March here at the Atteridge Magistrates Court.
Basmotochera kure rawia zinosikare. Ruapo batanganidza ka Mafhungo a Tshivenda pano ka SABC 2. Bamuto murado wambi ya bupiriri are mungwa wa masore afumi na bararu be barubandwani DRC bakotoda mu buso sitabanya wabuisa masalera abafunwa babo obo mafat mulapo bava uponi amurokendanya na habega force vundulila Limpopo di mungwa wa masore barati bavo Limpopo be babura wapala Goma bege operao abamuta wa mulapa bari abatutanganiza butanzi marugana na uwisi wa amasalera.
Iyi ndibege masindambidu kama mita ya masore bafumera robe wa bangi Goma Tshipembe hadi DRC bamita bare abana mularo izo ndenga mura musinzanyo za mbulungo zikulingiswa ngaurindira masalera abafumwa babo bachibuyiswa bamuto abo mufatu mulapo bamingwa ya futano ina bibashima kambi ya masore ya Afrika Tshipembe ubanga wa gidida tefu tairaro bari bakopa butongo busatarusei zoraro bakoitira khwiri mu buso uri ubuise bafuna babo hayani
kwa ile go renyakegile ende ile go re tshonyegile kudu bana la re khona go dira selo ga re robale ge re wa robala boroko a botle ene be re khopela gore mmusho o tsise mashaledi a ngwana rena
Umaboko bari muta awatu wana tikedzo ya mombulo bacheba panga rufula bomulapo bari mufumakadzo bomulapo na bana bako kundira utanganeza
ikuka abalapa ga di ediwela ka baka la gore gone jwa logo ba dutse and then di pelo di ka mošito mogolo ba kana ba di high blood di kana ja ba tsena le malwetse a mangwe a ba tsene ka baka la ntho e dirisitšego ke lehulela ngwana rena so ka gona bana ba lapa ka mokana se family ba swabile kudu ka ntho e dirile ba sa gopole gore ngwana bona o tlo bua a le ka mogoko
vha muṱa vha ri vho thoma u humbulela uri vho mulapo a vha tshiho kha vhatshelaho nga murahu musi vho kundelwa u vha wana kha luṱingo vhege yo fhelaho
tšatši le tšatši be ba founelana mara o ka re o gakanegile labone o rutwa wa mo founela kwa o ka re ga go bereke ga eno e tšea ka go nyana re ko gore ba pisi mo balegonseng gante go nee ditaba
khonani ya vho mulapo ya u bva vhuṱukuni vha ri vho mulapo ba vha na muloro wa u vha sole u bva musi vha tshe muṱuku
be le monne a rata batho a ra ebile a rata mošomo wa gagwe wa sesole se se ileng sa motlhotlhomiša gore a rate mmereko gore o ile a gola a checka di-movie tša sesole a thoma go rata mošomokwe and then o ile go thoma mo mošomong wa sesole e be e le yena breadwinner ka gae
vho mulapo vho sia mufumakadzi na vhana
muhulwane wa mbia lino vhurudzani mapyanya vho bva muromo nga u iswa masole ya lino ngei kha la Democratic Republic of Congo vho mapyanya vho dovha hafhu vha rumela maipfi a ndiliso kha vha miṱa ya masole vho vhulaho ngei vhubvaḓuvha a shango la DRC.
On the fateful day of 23rd January 2025, the M23 rebels launched a full-scale attack on our troops in an attempt to take control of Sake, aiming to gain access to Goma, the provincial capital of eastern DRC. Fierce fighting ensued, and our soldiers displayed extraordinary bravery and determination. They successfully halted the M23 advancement and pushed them back, preventing the rebels from achieving their objective. However, this decisive pushback at Sake came at a great cost, resulting in the loss of 13 of our gallant fighters. Regrettably, on Monday, the 27th January 2025, several long-range mortar bombs were launched towards Goma Airport, with some landing in the South African National Defence Force base, leading to the loss of 3 additional South African National Defence Force soldiers. The families of the fallen heroes have already been notified, and plans are underway to repatriate the remains of our gallant soldiers back home to South Africa.
Zao zina rwadisela mafhungo a zwa ikonomi na randa ya vhonala yo dzika musi tshivhambedzwa na maṅwe masheleni mahulwane ali fhasi. Dollar rand 18 rands 48 cents, bond on the 23 rands 3 cents, euro on the 19 rands 28 cents, pula Botswana the 1 rand 32 cents. Mikobe pala JSE Inter. Kasvera za musuku ndi $2,785, platinum ndi $962, oil isinga kuna kiswao ndi $76.91 ngafagi. Mulusi wa banga ya vukati khalino walisijahanyako wadwaza uri nyinga pfuma yotsanga phundi za 25.
Against this backdrop, the MPC decided to reduce the policy rate by 25 basis points with effect from the 31st of January 2025. 4 members preferred this action, while 2 supported an unchanged stance. The committee ultimately agreed that it was possible to reduce the degree of policy restrictiveness, making the stance somewhat more neutral. However, all members were concerned about the uncertain global outlook. The forecast sees rates drifting slightly lower over the next few years, stabilizing near 7.25%. But this rate path from the quarterly projection model remains a broad policy guide. The MPC would like to emphasize that its decisions will be made on a meeting-by-meeting basis with no forward guidance and no pre-commitment to any specific rate path.
mugudisi wa Bafana wa Igwe Bruce vari chipikwa chavo chiulwane panda hamusi vachiau awira ndu swikisa timu ka tournamende ya chipuga cha lifasi wa Bruce wotamba ka timu ya Belgium ka tournamende ya lifasi nga gidi da tae futae marorati une bakotodo swikisa timu ya Bafana ngi divura hajango la America wakani
nao madengwa tournament ya AFCON ono dhiitwa na mguriso wa Bafana ono dhiwia dunia safa zvazvino vasidzisa ka mitambo yoswikira tournament ya chipuga cha lifasi ya FIFA ya gidi 2020 ka mwedzi wa Thafamuwe Bafana vadotambira Lesotho na Benin nge Ivory Coast.
Starting with Lesotho, we are playing here in South Africa, so okay, this is a must win. And then Benin is maybe stronger than everyone thinks. And certainly there, when you have to go there, they are playing in Ivory Coast. So we have good experiences in Ivory Coast, so we can be a little bit optimistic. But again, very difficult games in March.
Mwedzi wa Thafamuwe ungamba zwinji kha muloro wa Bafana wasedza uswikira mitambo ya tournament ya chipuga cha lifasi Bob Bruce vari timu yavo idoita zvofanirawo.
SAFA evaluated in doing trips to other countries. Before it was a nightmare every time. you have to travel 15, 16, 18 hours before you arrived on destination. Now the last times we always had charters, and that helps a lot.
Bob Bruce vodimizira chimwe na chimwe uswikira chipikwa chavo cha ufedza chine chavo uswikira tournament ya lifasi.
It's also for me a big ambition to be. I was there as a player on the World Cup, but I really want to be there also and then stop my career because I will be 74 next year. I think it's a very nice moment to end my career. So let's hope we can achieve it.
Kamwedzi wa Khubvumedzi Bafana vadodela Lesotho, vadelwa nga Nigeria, nga Chimedzi vadelela Zimbabwe, vadelelwa nga Rwanda.
Timu zina zatamba kaketikanyo ya pasi ya Mutsiba Foundation ziko puliparo ratela panda karuta rwadza kunesa za fumirati za mtasano wa Nedbank Cup. Madengwa mtasano yu afaro madweke pano diriboni ya Johannesburg une timu taru uva kaketikanyo ya pasi zopani wana timu kurane zina zatamba ka Betway Premiership. Timu ya Orlando Pirates ine ya kutsireredza bugwena mtasano wa chipuga cha Nedbank idotanganiza Baroka FC ine asimuweni ka mtasano uyu mutamba murau tapelo koki na mutamba murau wa Baroka aboamba zitebelao.
It's a good draw for us. We always look for a home fixture in this type of draws. We got that, but now we have to make sure that we apply ourselves when we play at home in front of our supporters.
I mean, it's football and it's a cup match, so we'll be ready for them. We'll prepare as hard as we possibly can. We'll do our homework. Technical team will get to work, and then once we have everything that we need in terms of how their tactical approaches in the majority of the games that they have played, yeah, we'll stick to what we've been doing.
Timu ya Mamelodi Sundowns ya nurwa kamtasano uyunga Orlando Pirates kama kaura chere ito tanganiza timu ya Mpeni Home Defenders.
It was a fair draw. You know, like it's not always easy to play against a team from lower divisions, you know, because we don't know much about them, but they know a lot about us because, you know, they watch us every day when we play. But I believe that our technical team, they will get necessary information about them and we will know much about them before we play them.
You know, we all know Sundowns is a big team, but we'll try.
Timu ya Supersport United idombana na Cape Town Spurs iniabayone iniabaka katika nafasi ya Mutsipe Foundation.
It's a good draw, especially that we're playing home, and it's a Cape Town team, lower division, but I'm sure they're still going to come out hungry because they want to prove a point, and we also want to prove a point, so it's going to be a good game.
Zoraro, timu ya Makusi idoliwana zipatuwa na timu ya Chipa United, Justice Chabalala, uri orindera Chiefs ngamato matsuhuku.
I think for Chipa United, it's good for us to play against Chiefs
because everyone you want to play against big team, you know.
Vahulwane va mutarisano vari va ḓo ḓivhadza tshifhinga na datumu ya uri mitambo iyi i ḓo takutshedza lini. Ana musiri ya gadza hanefha ndangana mudau a tevhela na mutsho mafhungo a Tshivenda a honela matshelo ndende.
Ndi matekwana karimudira presa nyimoro ya mucho ya matekwana ana musiba bigiba mucho be matekwana musuko bunera rutsinga muroto korula ruchiko swenda rukotera ngeno shango rukutoba hapo rabona mimuya ini yakubutsura ngabuhari pala chipembe hashango unakona ze hapo ya mpure nenga katina musisa rasa pala bupaduba nela mimuya kila hapo yodine ya manda karimudira presa machere hone litocha limanga chubumbe yote musirishira presa nyimoro ya mucho ya machere kutoba hapo rabona ai wanga kaduvua una makore otibao ya doba hapo ya pera pezi ha asimbura ni topike ya wonzi percent za fura rupezi eni urikotoba hakura wana nela mimuya kila hapo yote amanda una percent za fura tizambura zini za kurayura pala Eastern Cape nyanga kadino ngakaduvua una makore otibao ila mimuya na wene kila kotoba hapo raibone chikubutsura ndingazo rechikutsibuza bazura pormate kwana anamosi kabarabere aiwa mbura zinzo dzatsko perekezwa nga madumbu pala Bundunda KwaZulu Natal tsina na pala Drobunza pala Durban na pala Bundunda pala Eastern Cape kotoba hapo rabatsibudzura na machero lichicha kabarabere hapo zila zimburu zingakadipera panda zodine ya manda atina hamusiro cherera nga ngomo shangoni ahuna tsibudzo ne rakhoibona machero lichicha kare mudira besa zi temperatures zashu za machero zimanga chibombe yote muso chabra tsakartumenga pala hayani ulibunduni la Limpopo ne rakobona hone pala Droboni ya Polokwane na pala ai warkobona mucho abudibukuma pala borwa zidakonya zi temperatures pala ka 36 musina hone di 38 pala le 37 kare muso chabra pala Bunduni la Mpumalanga hone Mbombela ndi temperatures abudibukuma muso chitsana alo chida pala Bunduni la KwaZulu Natal chabra pala Richards Bay na pala Durban kobona aiwa umucho abudibukuma machero lichicha samtri kobona zi temperatures to konya zikaba ka 31 dizabudibukuma na pala Chipembe ro pala George asina pala Islandar muso chabra pala ngobana makapala makhanda na hone na zone kobona aiwa zinthabukuma zikosuka pala ka 33 ngato angaraza muso chenela pala Bloemfontein na hone kobona 35 muso chikonya cha Appington hone kobona umucho aiwa ubudibukuma zi temperatures zone zokonya zasuka pala ka 35 Alexander Bay hone aiwa ndi 22 karimbo dirabelesa nyimiri ya mucho ya mafero abeke dorabelesa ngamukibera hone litocho limanga chibumbe yote kotoba afura bona la mupiso karura hobukuma usikobikwa pala tebura shango Polokwane atina arkobona ai wana pala musina kodabela mucho uino do busikopisa bukuma ukorabela funga kadidudela ngeno vundu ngeno Gauteng samtri kobona ngeno Pretoria na hone aiwa unakhona tse hapo ya mashota singa asikati dodoba afora na pala Eastern Cape wadudela musichelwa sana kama nanga sonda na hone kobona aiwa umucho bukuma do fora pala Chipembe shango pezila ila mimuya ikopera panda na ubuzura pala panela shango ya bupato batina kotoba akura bona chitsikinja shangu no mupiso wokarura ho bukuma musirisha sapo bukobera na hone kubona umucho abudi una dobuchko dudela musirichi konya sasa pala Bundula Northwest Mahikeng na pala burana hone kubona aiwa the temperatures abudi bukuma zichikobikwa tsina no mucho no kopisa bukuma pala chitsikini helino ndikamba komba kave mate kona bote